Marmon 16 two-passenger coupe by LeBaron 1931. The Marmon 16 had every chance of becoming the first and only V16 powered car in history. Howard Marmon embarked on his long-held dream of building the world's most advanced automobile in 1927, when Marmon was booming and had the resources to do so. But it turned out that the management of the General Motors concern found out about the project, and the director of Cadillac, Lawrence Fisher, did everything to get ahead of the competitor and be the first to present his 16-cylinder model to the public. To do this, he even poached former Marmon engineer Owen Necker. As a result, the Marmon 16 entered production a year later than the Cadillac V16, and Americans were less enthusiastic about it because its debut coincided with the low point of the economic crisis. During these difficult years, the demand for luxury cars fell, and from 1931 to 1933, the firm was able to sell only 390 units. Marmon 16, 233 in 1931, 111 in 1932 and 56 in 1933. An attempt to gain a foothold in the top segment of the market ended in bankruptcy for her. The Marmon 16 was not inferior to the Cadillac V16 either in quality or in comfort, and in many respects even surpassed it. It is no coincidence that during the 1932 New York Auto Show, the Society of Automotive Engineers of the United States recognized its engine as the most remarkable achievement of the auto industry of the year. It was a truly excellent powertrain, consisting of two inline 8-cylinder blocks connected on a common crankcase at a 45 degrees angle. Unlike the design of the Cadillac V16, its block and head were all aluminum, with steel cylinder liners, and rubber mounts to the frame, and instead of two upflow carburetors, a single two-barrel downdraft was used. Everything else for the Marmon and Cadillac engines was similar: two upper valves per cylinder, one lower camshaft, OHV, dual exhaust, pressure lubrication system and 6-volt electric ignition. However, due to the larger volume, 8,047 cubic centimeters versus 7,412 cubic centimeters, and a higher compression ratio, 6.0 versus 5.5, the first of them developed 25 horsepower. More power, 200 horsepower versus 175 horsepower. Of all American cars of the 30s, only the Duesenberg had a better power-to-weight ratio than the Marmon 16. This was largely due to the presence of aluminum components in the design of the latter, which was also characteristic of the early Marmon models. Suspension at Marmon 16 was dependent on semi-elliptical springs front and rear, brakes, mechanical with a vacuum booster, gearbox, 3-speed manual without synchronizers in first gear. 8 body styles from the LeBaron studio were installed on the chassis with a wheelbase of 145, 3,683 mm, a 2-seater coupe, a 4-seater Victoria coupe, a 2-door convertible, a 4-door convertible, a phaeton, a 5 or 7-seater sedan and a limousine. All of them were included in the standard catalog, since the style was not worked by LeBaron, but industrial designer Walter Dorwintig. Prices for a finished car with one of these bodies ranged from $5,100 to $5,400. During the entire production period, only 3 copies received a custom body, 2 Phaetons from Waterhouse and 1 coupe from Hayes.